Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Ranita and I love getting into all things makeup and beauty related, and today we're going to be looking at all of the palettes that I'm looking forward to this Christmas season. Now this is, a list of about 23 items that kind of match the Christmas spirit for me. I'm pretty excited about it. I feel like these are like really festive and bright and cheerful. They really bring out that, ooh, I want to celebrate vibe, and that's basically what I was going for this particular video. I have another one that's going to be coming up that's going to be addressing a completely different side to the month of December, but for today it's going to be these 23 items. Now I have new items, a couple of them anyway, and I have a few older things, and I also have a few that I have purchased but I have not yet tried, but because of my experience with the brands themselves, I kind of know that these would make complete and total sense for the month of December. So let's get into it. I'm really excited. I'm going to start with a classic over here. So this is by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. Now I did try using this palette a while ago and it was on sale. I think it may still be on sale. You need to go and check Give Me Glow's website. The reason I'm mentioning this is because they just have such beautiful foils in here. This is a classic Christmas color story, isn't it? I mean, it really reminds you of the tinsel. It reminds you of everything that I would expect in a Christmas color story. So I really love it. And I did try the tinsel, the shimmer shades that remind me of tinsel. And I think that they're beautiful. They're very smooth. I love the fact that I got the larger pan size because I feel like this is going to last me forever. So this is really fantastic. It's a very simple color story. I feel like red and green is, definitely the most common theme that you see when it comes to Christmas because it's so classic, and then you throw in that gold there and that's absolute perfection. And now I also want to mention this over here, the Resurrection palette by Wicked Widow. I do have a code with them which you can use to go and order this. I think it's on pre-order right now, so it will take a bit of time for you to get it, but I think that this is really nice simply because of the range of colors that you actually get in the palette over here. You can really mix and match and enjoy yourself. The festive colors here for me would probably be on this side, and then that blue, the green. Honestly, I've seen so many Christmas trees and so many themes for Christmas trees, and I really feel like even if you're not going for those bright colors, I've seen people doing blues, purples, and just greens on their trees, all kinds of things. So I think that there's just a ton of potential with this palette. It's a very strong contender for me, and Wicked Widow Beauty has got fantastic eyeshadow formulas, so if you've never tried them, now may be the time to go and do so. I absolutely love this. They have new palettes that have also come out, and it's really worth going and checking out. I think these are amazing quality. It's very smooth and fantastic. I did do an eye swatch video for the Wicked Widow Beauty palette, so if you want, you can go and check that one out to kind of get deeper into the brand, and I'll put my code up in case you want to go and grab anything from them. You can also check all of the codes in the description box below for anything that you want. Now, I'm going to come into one of my favorite brands here. This is honestly in no particular order, by the way. I'm not ranking the palettes, but this is basically Adept. Okay, so Adept Cosmetics has really been killing it. Like, I love their products and I look forward to whatever they put out, and I know they're coming up with a whole new range of things next year, which is very exciting. So I've included, I think 6 palettes this year. No, actually make that 7 palettes that I am kind of feeling match Christmassy vibes. So let me just get into the very first one, which is actually, okay, so this is actually a highlighter palette. So if you're taking the 23 items, that's 23 eyeshadow palettes plus this one. Okay, so this is more of a highlighter palette, so kind of 24. But the reason I'm including Ketracel is because it's really pretty. It's got these really beautiful shades, and I think that this is kind of magical, and I think it would be perfect for Christmas, especially those over there. That as an eyeshadow, I would do that. I think it just looks really beautiful. I love that as a highlighter. Christmas is very magical. This could be perfect for a pastel Christmas theme, which I think would go really well with, like a whimsical kind of theme, if that's what you're going for. I don't think pastels, are strangers to Christmas at all. I actually think that, I've seen a lot of beautiful pastel Christmas trees, and I think that that would be great. So yeah, Ketracel White goes well for any kind of festive thing. So that's one. Now I also was thinking about this, which is the Unity palette over here. The Unity palette has a really nice mix of pinks, mauves, and then some really beautiful shimmer shades up there. And I did review this palette as well. You can go and check and see what this looks like. But I honestly feel like this would be fantastic as a Christmas palette, especially for those of us who don't want too much color, right? Like not all of us are very bold. Some of us like to have more neutral shades on our eyes. And I really think that this matches that theme. It's very beautiful. And I love those bold pinks and then that little green over there. You can really mix and match all of these mattes together if you want, and you can even add on, you know, additional shades from other Adept palettes or any other palette that, you know, suits your taste. But I love the fact that Adept has 10 shimmer shades all the time. So this for me was, it just made sense to me, you know, because it's got that green, it's got the mauves. I can imagine a Christmas tree here with a lot of beautiful pink and purple, you know, tinsel balls all over it, and then, you know, just a mixture and you know, of lights, gold lights, silver lights, and everything. And I think that's the reason why Unity kind of called out to me. And of course with Adept I do have a code, so you can, you know, use that and get a discount. Now I also thought about Amy Loves. Now Amy Loves is a beautiful palette. I had so much fun with this, even though some of the mattes did look pretty similar on my skin tone, but if you're a lighter skin tone, I don't think you'll have that problem. This just calls to me mostly because of the shimmer shades. The shimmer shades are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning, so festive. This is the time for like really, really bright, bold shimmers, and I kind of feel like this is perfect, you know, when it comes to like those really metallic tones. Like they really captured that in this palette, so it really, really makes sense. Again, kind of going in with the pastel theme, as well as, you know, typical holiday colors like silver, gold, and, you know, just really, really sparkly formula. So that's the reason why I included Amy Loves. And, you know, how can you not with this beautiful glittery kind of packaging? I think that was also definitely a part of it. I did 7 looks for this video, so you can go and check out my Adept playlist and you'll probably get all the deets on this palette. But I absolutely love it, and that's the reason why I'm including it as a Christmas palette. Now I also included Legend of Adra, probably for the same reason, because these shades are just too pretty not to include, especially like when I was working with them. I really liked how fancy they were, and I kind of feel like this is a nice mixture of, again, the very sparkly neutrals, and then you've got some interesting shades here which kind of change color, and, you know, it's how you apply it. I did like that blue that you can see over there. I love the way that that applied on my eyes. When I was using this palette, I did have a lot of fun. So that's why I thought, you know what, this also kind of makes sense for Christmas. Not the typical Christmas colors, but these, as you can see, are kind of more on the nude side and the mauve side, with bursts of color here and there. I'll leave it up to you to decide, you know, whether you really think these are Christmas palettes or not. But for me, I can see myself wearing anything from any of these palettes because it does make sense. Now, Vivette is obviously one of the latest. I think this is the latest palette from them, and I really loved the shimmers in here. I thought they were really beautiful. I did do swatches, and I really thought that the shifts here were just stunning, very sparkly, very smooth, a ton of fun. So again, perfect for party season, you know, because like when Christmas is coming, I'm sure that a lot of us are being invited to a lot of parties, and Vivette makes perfect sense for that. So that's why I'm including it. And of course, if you want pops of color, all of those matte shades are there, right? So you can just mix and match and really, really have fun. The most true Christmas palette for me will forever be the Arrow inspired palette. This is just a classic for me. Like, it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely perfect for Christmas. I cannot get enough of this palette. This has some of the strongest multi-chrome shifts that I have ever seen. You can see that happening there with the mirror. These shades blew my mind when I was using them. And when I went to Malaysia the last time, this was the palette that I did take with me, because that green, these greens, as you can see, just check out that emerald green showing up there. Okay, this, you just can't tell me that this is not going to work for Christmas. This is the perfect Christmas palette for me. If I had to pick favorites, this is definitely going to be one of the favorites, and I love it. I actually wish that I had bought a backup of this palette because it's a limited edition one, and I feel sad it's limited edition because it is just that good. I absolutely love that emerald green shade. That one was my favorite. I wore it in Malaysia, and I remember people just looking at my eyes and saying, you know, wow, your eyes look amazing because of all those shifts happening. It was so special. So this one has a very special place in my heart for Christmas. Now I do have two palettes that I purchased from Adept, which I never got around to using. The first one is Element 115. This is a brand new palette, okay, and I have not touched it, but if I look at the colors in here, you can see, right, that these are really special shades. These are definitely kind of Christmassy. I can see cool toned Christmas trees, so this could kind of make sense. I think that some of those shimmers are really calling to me, especially, you know, those purples up there, even this fancy thing over here. So even if they're not super shifty shades, but they are, like, I can see shifts happening, and I do think that these could work brilliantly for Christmas as well. So I'm actually going to try and do a review of Element 115 this month, because I think it's shameful that I purchased this beauty and I never reviewed it. So stay tuned for that. I was supposed to do this months ago, and you know, it's just been so busy. You know, every time I get a new palette, it gets pushed back because, you know, like I said, my time's been pretty limited. Now, the other thing which I absolutely felt had to be included was Cyborg Choir. This is another palette which I purchased. I loved the color story the moment I saw it. This is so beautiful because it reminds me of a very whimsical kind of Christmas theme, and I definitely think that looking at these, looking at the way that these colors are sparkling, I can't get enough of it. They are truly beautiful shades, and I honestly think that if you are someone who is looking for a pastel kind of theme, this palette is probably your friend. So that's the reason why I had to include Cyborg Choir. I am seeing very strong, intense shifts here, and I am really looking forward to using this as, you know, a Christmas palette, because right now I really love the pastel Christmas theme. I think I've really been enjoying it. It's actually pretty interesting because I feel like these are vibrant kind of pastels, right? I even love the packaging of Cyborg. So look forward to those two. Now, even though I haven't reviewed them, I will safely say that I love Adept's formula. I love the fact that they give us so much variety, and that's why I stand behind them 100%. I do have a code with them, like I said before. If you want to go, you can go and pick stuff up. I'm pretty sure for Black Friday they also had, you know, amazing deals, and you know, it's Cyber Monday, so they may still have deals. So go and check out their website, go grab stuff, because Adept's worth it. I love their stuff, but I haven't bought anything new from them. Like those are the Ninahydrin palettes, and then like there were a few more that I wanted to get. I have not gotten them yet because I feel like I have so much makeup right now that I'm not using, so I want to kind of like review everything, and then, you know, at a later time I'm probably going to pick up more things from them. But I love Adept, and I think that they're superb. I don't think you should worry about them. Just make sure that you're using a good base. That is the key thing when you're working with shimmers, especially if you've got oily lids. Now let's move on to the next brand, which is a predictable one. This over here is my Simply Posh, you know, winter collection here, which I kind of feel really go well with all of these really festive colors. I've been thinking a lot about pastel Christmases because I'm just a pastel lover. So Cozy Cabin over here is probably the first thing that comes to mind. Now, I do know that Simply Posh is releasing new palettes, I think, well, one new palette for this winter, and I'm looking forward to it. I really wonder what that's going to be, and I'm very excited to see what that's going to look like. But today, you know, this is the one thing that's calling to me. Now, one of the shades here is missing because I'm doing BYOP right now. It's a beautiful orange, but this color story really calls to me. It is just so beautiful. I can't get enough of this, and I love the way that this, even though it's a winter palette, it can transition beautifully into a spring palette as well because of those gorgeous shades here. I did a comparison, a very thorough comparison of this and the older Cozy Cabin. Now, the only reason I'm not mentioning the older Cozy Cabin is because that palette is, it's not being sold right now. I absolutely love my older Simply Posh Cozy Cabin palette. In fact, that was the very first one that I tried, and I did 6 looks with it. This was when I was kind of crazy and I had a lot of time on my hands, and I did 6 looks with this. But this is the newer one, and this is the holiday edition. I love this one as well. I thought the updated formulas were superb, and you know, I gave full thoughts on that on my video. So you can go and check out my Simply Posh Cosmetics playlist. Go and look at all my videos to get my full thoughts on everything. Now there's also Aurora Lights. I think Aurora Lights is a fantastic palette, really beautiful, kind of captures the deeper mood, I think, of Christmas, but again, really lovely candy-like kind of colors. Beautiful duochromes in every single palette here, so you get 12 mattes and 6 duochromes, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I kind of feel like, you know, even with the pastel theme, you could come up with really beautiful candy-like colors. Like I'm kind of thinking here of the Nutcracker, and you know, just going and seeing the Sugar Plum Fairy and all those other characters that come to life there. They have such beautiful candy-like tones, and this kind of captures that for me. I love the fact that they have deeper tones here, because I always like adding a deeper eyeshadow to the ends of my eyes. So this is a fantastic palette for Christmas. I really think that, you know, anyone who uses it is going to enjoy Aurora Lights. Now, of course, with Aurora Lights, again, there was a different version that Simply Posh had actually created a while ago, and it's this one over here. It was called Northern Lights though. So this was actually not, this is not part of my 23 palettes. I'm going to include this in a different list. So I'm not including it for this one, but I'm putting Aurora Lights here for this because I feel like it just captures that really playful and festive side. Now I also have Genuine Gems. Genuine Gems I decided to include because I think that the colors in here are really pretty and warm, and this kind of reminds me of colors that I'd expect to see inside a house maybe, you know, those beautiful yellow lights, and then you're just looking at a tree filled with these beautiful colorful tinsel balls everywhere, presents under the tree. I can see all of these colors showing up for me. I love all of this, and yeah, one of the shades is missing because like I said, I'm doing a BYOP, but this is beautiful. And again, you always get 12 amazing mattes and you get 6 amazing duochromes. And Simply Posh has a wonderful formula, so if you've never tried them before, I just highly recommend it. Like, please go and try them, because this is one of the best indie brands out there. They don't always release for like every single season, but when their palettes come out, people are excited, people want to try them, and they had some fantastic deals going on lately. So you can go and check them out, go check out their Instagram, and you know, see what's happening. Now I'm going to get into the next few palettes here. Okay, now this is a newer palette which really blew my mind, and I love it. This is by Clionadh. I love Clionadh. Clionadh has such an amazing quality. Now I also have another video, by the way, coming out of my single eyeshadows for Christmas, so wait for that and stay tuned for that. But this was the mini palette, you know, that they gifted to me. It's a bit messy because I did, you know, my swatches and everything, but honestly, this palette was just, it was such a joy to work with this palette. When I was swatching it, I was thinking, wow, this is just beautiful. So this is their collaboration with Bad to the Brow, and I'm really thankful to Millie because she wanted me to be on, you know, this particular project, and I'm really thankful that she did, because, you know, I don't think I would have had this palette otherwise. So I'm really thankful to her for including me. And honestly, as I was swatching these, I really enjoyed them. They're very smooth formulas, extremely smooth, just wonderful, like minimal, you know, like particle size. You don't even feel anything. It's so soft and so silky. So I really love light scatters, and I think this is worth it. I don't know how much this palette is. Maybe you can go and check their website and see, but I do think that this would be a lovely gift, you know, for a very close friend, simply because these are smaller than the traditional Clionadh pan size, and also, you know, it's kind of like a nice mini palette here that you can gift to someone. I was also thinking about including the Clionadh Deep Sea Treasure palette in this list, but I kind of feel like I include it for every single video. But hey, you know, actually, you know what? Fine, I am going to include it in this list. It's sitting over there, so I don't, and the shades are actually not in this, but I'm going to include it. So if you've seen the Deep Sea Treasures palette, this is the empty palette, but I love the colors here because they are so beautiful. This has like a kind of range of reds, purples, greens, and golds. Really beautiful colors for Christmas. So Deep Sea Treasures really hits all the, you know, yes boxes for me when it comes to Christmas as well. So okay, yes, we now have 24 items, excuse me. I just realized, hey, Deep Sea Treasures is there. I cannot make this video without it. So yeah, these two palettes by Clionadh, absolutely superb for Christmas. really fun for multi-chrome lovers. I highly recommend checking both of these out, and I do think they would make wonderful gifts for loved ones, because you know, it's a nice introduction to the brand. And that's my thoughts on Clionadh. I really love their makeup. Now I'm coming into Shine by SD. So they have this collection called Mean Greens over here. Now these are, yeah, they are single eyeshadow shades, and I was gonna kind of put them in the other video, but then I kind of felt like, you know, these come as a set. So Mean Greens over here is you know, perfect for Christmas. Why? Because I just felt like it reminds me of Christmas trees, you know, so it just kind of feels like you're walking into this beautiful fir forest, and you know, the snow falling, and all of that just makes a lot of sense to me. So that's the reason why I'm including this. I do enjoy Shine by SD's formula. I think that it's pretty special, and I've really enjoyed using quite a few of their, you know, shades that they've gifted to me. There was the Sparkling Lights collection as well, which will probably be in my single eyeshadow video, yeah, spoiler. But I basically really love this. I love smaller, more curated sets as well, and I think that this is definitely worth looking into. Now I also have this Cosmic Crypt by Sinful Echoes here, which I didn't really expect to put in, but then as I looked at it, I thought, you know, this kind of feels like a fiery hearth to me, you know, just sitting by the fire and enjoying those gorgeous, you know, flames, and you know, it just kind of made sense. Red tinsel balls, a little bit of darkness, maybe those could be those, you know, beautiful lights, the yellow ones that bring that warmth into the Christmas spirit as well. And I just ended up thinking, yeah, I think Cosmic Crypt needs to be in here. Now this has a beautiful multi-chrome, and yeah, it's right over there. That's absolutely stunning. Cosmic Crypt by Sinful Echoes is a fantastic palette. If you have not tried them, I do recommend it. I have done swatches. I also did a review. I did not do a look with this palette. I did a look later on, and I kind of did mention that I was wearing this, but I didn't do a look exclusively in that video. I reviewed the other two palettes though, but basically the formula is excellent, very smooth, very pigmented, and they work wonderfully on deeper skin tones. So that's the reason why I felt that this was worth including. Now I also have this palette over here, Undergrowth by Cosmic Brushes. Now the thing about Cosmic Brushes is that I actually just ordered 2 more of their palettes. I know that they have that it's the season palette, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I felt like, oh my goodness, that would be perfect for Christmas. It captures the mood of Christmas in every possible way. That palette's probably the most stunning I have seen you know, in a while. It really captured me, and I love the colors. I know they're very intense, having tried some of Cosmic Brushes other palettes before. And I also got Winter Wonderland because I thought that that would be absolutely beautiful as well. So Undergrowth though is more of a fall into Christmas kind of transition palette for me, but the reason I decided to include it is because, and I haven't tried this palette yet, yeah, so I'm just kind of letting you know that this is something I'm really excited to try during this season. The reason is because those shimmers look amazing. Like I can see all these beautiful golds and greens coming through, and I'm like, yeah, I could wear that for Christmas. The golds look incredible. Like I don't think anybody is going to, you know, not be able to appreciate the colors in here. They are so beautiful. So it may not be a traditional Christmas kind of color story, but those greens are unbeatable for me, you know, and all those golds as well. Like you can see, right, what they're like. Cosmic Brushes has a really good formula, very sparkly, and because it's that sparkly, it just makes sense for Christmas. So yeah, you can definitely use some of the shades from Undergrowth here too, especially if you're wearing a gold dress for Christmas. I highly recommend checking Undergrowth out for that. You know, it just makes a lot of sense to me. Now I also have this Solmane 2 by Odin's Eye Cosmetics. Now this is also a palette that could pass for fall, but the more I look at it, the more I really love the fact that this could also definitely be a Christmas palette. I actually have not bought new makeup from Odin's Eye in forever, but yeah, this kind of did stand out to me. I think it's a beautiful color story, and even though it's on the warmer side, it just kind of makes sense to me, mostly because of, I think, the mash of these beautiful cool tones and how sparkly and creamy the shimmers are. Odin's Eye's formulas, I have enjoyed them quite a bit, and that's the reason why I think I would actually really love to jump into this again. I don't know if I'm going to have time to jump into Solmane 2, but if I do, I definitely want to be trying this out. Now this is a new brand, Mad Witch Cosmetics here, and they very kindly sent me, this palette, and I just thought, oh, it's so cute. It's got a cat on it. I honestly cannot, ignore this palette. So let me just show it to you. This is what it looks like. Now this is traditional Christmas colors, and I'm going to be doing a video on this soon. So I thought, yeah, this also kind of makes sense for Christmas, right? The red and green traditional Christmas colors. It's got 4 really pretty shimmers. So I'm looking forward to this, and I think that this would be something fun for anybody looking for like a new kind of Christmas color story here. They have really beautiful shimmers, by the way, Mad Witch Cosmetics. So you can go check that out. Now I'm also including 2 palettes by DD Signature here, because I just feel like, if I don't, this really does not make any sense to me. So there's going to be Jingle Bell Ruby eyeshadow palette, and then of course the Fearless Holiday eyeshadow palette, which is a blend of autumn and Christmas. So I'm going to start with this one over here because I did review it. This is a beautiful palette, okay? It really, really makes sense. So this over here is supposed to be the Christmas row, and that one as well. And these 2 are supposed to be the autumn rows, but I kind of feel like this can be Christmas, so can this, and so can this. Fearless Holiday is honestly a very strong contender for Christmas. If you have not tried DD Signature, please go and try them. They've really blown my mind. This is amazing for deeper skin tones. It is such a fantastic brand. The shimmers are creamy and beautiful. Now, I did have some people telling me, hey, it's melting off. Honestly, use a base. It makes a big difference. I've, shared multiple times that my favorite base is from Shop Alter Ego. And I really, really love that base. You can use my code and you will get a discount. It's all like, I'm just going to leave my discount codes below. Just go check those out. It's a superb, base for shimmers, especially if they're melting off. Now this over here is the Christmas palette. I have kind of started working on it, but you can see how beautiful the colors are here. These really remind me a little bit even of candy tones, and I love that. I'm talking about the shimmer shades, right? They remind me of candy tones, and I actually think that's fantastic because I really love that. I love pastel tones. I love including, that kind of color story into Christmas. In fact, I'm actually looking forward to pastel tones a lot more this Christmas, and I feel like the classic colors are also included here, like the reds, the greens. It's just such a fun color story. So I'm looking forward to this. My review on that will be up very soon as well. I was actually sick for 10 days last month, and it really, really set me back on a lot. So that's the reason why I haven't been able to put my review up on this yet. But so far I have kind of tried out a couple of the shades, and yeah, I was happy with it. They blew my mind as always. I'm going to be including the other DD Signature single eyeshadows, in another video for Christmas, because even those remind me of tinsel ball shades, and they're just beautiful. Now I also have a rather neutral palette here. This is the Misthaven palette by Alter Ego. I just mentioned their eyeshadow base, so this is the same brand. Now the reason I'm including this particular eyeshadow palette is because when you're using multi-chromes, duochromes, blah blah blah, sometimes it's just a lot of color on your eye and you need some neutrals, and Alter Ego really has incredible neutral shades. So this is what the Misthaven palette looks like. I have not had a chance to go through every single shade just yet, but the ones that I have gone through I have really loved, and honestly every time I've tried an Alter Ego palette I've really enjoyed myself. So I think that they're doing a great job. The pan size is smaller, but honestly, how much makeup can you go through? So I feel this is value for money because you will actually use it and you'll actually be able to go through it, and you can even use it for every day. And this just kind of makes sense for maybe a deeper, darker side of Christmas, but just also as a backup palette, that you can use for the matte shades, because I would only just use like maybe one brown shade from here and then put one multi-chrome on my eyes, and that's basically how I'm doing my Christmas looks. Very, very simple and very easy. But if you obviously want to add in more color, then all of those other palettes I have mentioned make a lot of sense. But this is more for like everyday use. If you are planning to maybe go to a work environment or something like that where you can't wear super sparkly shades, this kind of makes sense, right? Like the one brown and then the one multi-chrome, it just makes a lot of sense to me. So that's why I've included Misthaven. Now I also am including Midnight Moth by Adept Cosmetics, which I had actually included as an autumn palette, but the more I looked at this palette and the more that I looked at the shades in this palette, like Adept has some of the most intense shifts that I've ever seen in my life. Like if you haven't tried Electrum, you should. The formula is incredible. The shades are incredible. Really, I just feel like this is party central for me. Like the way that these colors work and the way that they look and everything. They're amazing. The mattes also worked really, really well for me. So I've had no problems at all. I actually accidentally dropped one of these shades onto the ground and I was just miserable because, yeah, the palette slipped out of my hand and I was really disappointed. But Midnight Moth remains a favorite and I really think that Electrum killed it with this particular color story. So you can see that it has a mixture of those purples, greens, reds, yellows, and then with those really, really beautiful, intense colors and shifts. You know, there's a really intense green in here, which just blows my mind, and that would be Synth. This is a classic, I think, Chris. Yeah, you can see that green coming through it in the mirror. So it's just a classic, you know, for me. I can't like turn away from that. I think it's beautiful. And then there's some candy shades here and then the mauves. This is so Christmassy. Like just ignore those 6 shades. Can you see those 6 shades there? That just makes sense for Christmas. It's beautiful. And then if you kind of look at the other side, it starts to make sense as well as a Christmas tree. Like you could just have pinks and greens. That would be beautiful. Pinks, greens, and purples. Wonderful Christmas tree. So yeah, that makes sense as well. And the last and final palette here is an oldie but a goldie. So this one over here is by Nomad Cosmetics. I decided to include Royal Europe because this was actually one of the best palettes that I tried from Nomad. I haven't had a chance to try the newer palettes this year. The last thing I tried from them was the New Zealand Stargazing one. So this over here is just so wonderful because you can see the shifts, right? You can see those shifts happening. So this has multi-chromes, 5 multi-chromes. This is probably one of the more affordable, you know, like multi-chrome palettes. Like that's if you were planning to go and get any. I really loved this palette. I thought it was so beautiful and so much fun. And I can still see those shades shifting so beautifully, you know, when I'm looking in the mirror, and that's just so satisfying. So Nomad also has a wonderful formula. I really truly enjoyed this, and I think that this would be amazing for Christmas. Why? Because they're such royal colors. This to me is classic Christmas. It's just so royal, so festive, so beautiful. I personally can't get enough of it. So that is the reason why I have included Royal Europe by Nomad, and Nomad's having a sale. You can go and check them out as well and see if you can get any deals. So anyway, my favorites, my goodness, from this pile. It's so hard to pick. I think that that's going to be probably the Adept one, like I mentioned. That one I'm really looking forward to. I'm also going to be looking forward to DD Signature because I cannot get enough of DD Signature. And then of course the newer palettes, yeah, that I'm looking forward to. I think that's the Cyborg Choir really is calling to me a lot this year for Christmas. And I know that they're pastels, but I still really love them. And probably Light Scatters by Clionadh. You know, there's just this is beautiful collection of shades. And honestly, this is not even the full thing that I'm looking forward to because, like I said, I have 2 more videos coming up where I share my thoughts on more palettes that would be amazing for this particular season. So anyway, for today, that's where I end, but I will come back with those other 2 videos. Look for those on the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to know more about all of that, because I do have the single eyeshadows that are going to be coming out from different brands. I've already kind of got the video together, and I have another video for the season. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I hope to see you more on the channel. I've actually been, you know, a bit sick, like I said, last month, which is why I did have to take a bit of a break. And then when Thanksgiving came as well, you know, it was becoming a little bit difficult. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. Remember to hit that subscribe button so I get to see more of you. And I will see you very soon for another video. So lots of love. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.